Crowhill here. Today we have a short show about whiskey. Hey, good evening, Pigweed.
Good evening, Crowhill. How are you? And how about some beer and conversation?
I think that's a great idea. What are we drinking?
We have an amber lager from a local brewer, and
fantastic. Sounds good. So,
what's on your mind?
I'm thinking about whiskey, and what I'm thinking about is when you distill whiskey, what comes out of the still is clear. And you know, like when you buy whiskey, it's got an amber color, and a lot of the flavor seems to be imparted after the distillation, depending on what you put it in.
It seems like you're just getting like grain alcohol,
right.
Basically.
It seems like you're just getting grain alcohol, and all the flavor comes from what you do afterwards, whether you put it in this kind of barrel or that kind of barrel. It makes me wonder.
Botanicals, that kind of thing.
Exactly. It makes me wonder, why does it matter what kind of grain you use?
Potato, wheat,
corn. All these different things. Like, why does it matter if all you're getting out of the still is this clear, basically grain alcohol? And I've wondered this for a long time, and I've asked a few people that I thought would know the answer, and they didn't really have a good answer for me. So I asked Hal.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. So I asked
all the knowledge of the planet.
All the knowledge on the planet. I asked good old ChatGPT, if the distillate that comes out of a still when making whiskey is basically clear and tasteless, and the color and flavor comes from how it's aged, why does it matter if the mash was corn, barley, or rye?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my understanding, like people say that people associate vodka with potatoes.
Right.
Not really.
No, because it's wheat sometimes.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So ChatGPT says, good question. You're right, the distillate that comes off the still is clear and doesn't taste much like what we think of as whiskey, but it's wrong to say that it's tasteless. So this is where it gets into, apparently there are different qualities to what comes out of the still based on the grain bill. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Corn brings more sweetness and a smoother texture, so it's better for bourbon. Rye contributes spice and peppery heat and complexity. And sometimes you have a bourbon that has rye in it. Barley adds nutty or malty flavors and also enzymes to help convert starches during in the same way that when you brew a beer, you have all these varieties of grain. Most barley, but prepared differently. Yeah. Would you ever have that in the distilling process? You see, that's the part that didn't make any sense to me, because when you're mashing grains and you drain off the sweet liquid from that and then you ferment the sugars out, there's still a whole lot of what you're getting from the grain left in the beer. You know, I mean, you can see it, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it confused me, because the distillation process, it seemed to me, was just boiling off the alcohol. Well, who cares what's in there if you're just boiling off the alcohol?
Yes.
But apparently it actually does make a difference. It
seems like you're boiling off any flavor that might have been in the rye or the potato or whatever.
Exactly. That's what it seemed like to me. But apparently that's not true.
All right.
And I mean, of course, it has to be true, because this is the way.
Or why would we be doing
this? Why would they talk about the grain bill and it has to be this much corn and it has to be this much whatever?
But I still need some explaining.
I needed some explaining. So ChatGPT gave me the answer, and okay, good. Now I know that there actually is something that comes through after the distillation process that influences the flavor of the final product. Although, obviously, what you do afterward, what kind of barrel you age it in, and all this other stuff also has a big impact on the flavor.
So it seems like you have grain alcohol, and then you cut it to 80 proof.
Right.
And what goes on in vodka? Do people, put boysenberries or what? I mean, do they?
Yeah. So that gets back to, like, we did a little while ago. We drank some of your homemade whiskey.
Yeah.
And where you took grain alcohol and diluted it and added some wood chips and some other things to give it
Yes.
some flavor. And I've done the same kind of thing. And
It tasted kind of rough. It tasted like grain alcohol.
It did. And that's why I had this question, because I was thinking, well, if you can just do that, then what's the point? And what does it matter?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. But apparently it does matter. So what that says is those homemade methods that we've used to make, something like bourbon, something like whiskey, something like whatever, just American Kentucky whiskey, that's not the whole story.
Because you can't just, because that assumes that you can, the base booze doesn't really matter.
Right.
But this tells me that it does.
That it does. So if you really wanted to do it right, what you'd need to do is go to some distillery and get what do they call it? The before they add it to the cask, once it comes straight off the still.
Yeah.
You need to get that stuff and then take it home and mix it with, whatever herbs or whatever wood or whatever you're going to add to it to get your final product. That's really what you'd have to do.
But you'd have to know the source of
yeah.
Right? So moonshine is always corn, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it a sour mash, and is it corn, or is it rye, or is it barley, or whatever it is? So you need to know all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that's something that's been bugging me for a long time.
Yes.
And ChatGPT answered the question for me.
I mean, it's not entirely satisfying, I still, but at least to know that the people in the know agree.
Yes,
that
it really does make a difference.
That it really does make a difference.
So that's good to know.
All right.
So what else? We got any kind of a letter to the
I do have a letter.
Okay,
Yeah,
very good.
I have a letter. This is let me see.
By the way, if you want to write to the show, pigweedshow@gmail.com, and we'd be happy to take your letters. Also, remember to like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, all that kind of stuff.
All right. So, White Knight writes about the 80-20 Democrats show. So, quote, he says, you guys covered several topics where the Democrat leadership takes the 20 on 80-20 issues. I'd like to add a few more.
Okay.
So the ones that we did was closing the border and deportation.
Right.
They were just like, no. So this is not Democrats, like walking around the street, normal voting Democrats.
Yeah.
They're actually far more reasonable than Democrats in power.
Right.
So they just love. Remember how they used to love Kilmar Garcia?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
They love that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Trans athletes and sterilizing, castrating children.
Yeah.
They're taking the 20 on that.
They're taking the 20. Yep.
Voter ID, taking the 20.
Right. DEI.
And loving Hamas.
Right. Yep.
Yes. They love that. But White Knight is saying is he's giving me a few more.
Okay.
Bombing Iran.
Okay.
That's an 80.
Yeah.
And boy, if you go and see Hakeem Jeffries and The View and whoever else,
although you got to say that there are some people on the right who are in the 20 on this, like Tucker Carlson. And
yes.
There are some people on the right who are saying we shouldn't be bombing Iran.
This is how the 80 works like this. I think 95 Republican and 65 Democrat will give you an 80.
Yeah.
And so even by the Democrats' own numbers, they're going against the 65.
Yeah.
But you have the Tucker Carlsons who are at 5 outside of the 95.
Right.
Now I'm just wondering. Now once you've flown your Ukrainian flag, and then you had to run out and get your Hamas flag,
right? Yeah.
Then you're like, oh gosh, Mexican flag,
right? Yeah.
And they're like, how do I get an Iranian flag?
Right.
How?
Yeah.
I mean, what does their flagpole look like outside?
I saw somebody proposed a bill that you could only fly an American flag within the Capitol, and that seems like. Why wasn't that already a rule? I mean, this is the U.S. Capitol. Why would you fly any flag other than the American flag inside the U.S. Capitol?
Why would you need a rule?
I know.
What kind of weird traitors are you?
Who would be flying some other flag? Gosh, that's crazy.
All right, so I guess he gave me a couple more.
Okay, yeah.
He said, this is another one they're willing to die for. Taxpayer-funded Medicare for illegals.
Yeah, well, isn't Medicare already going bankrupt, and they want to make it bankrupt faster? Is that the idea?
But, so, Bernie wants Medicare for all.
Yeah.
And nobody wants that. So Obama said, all right, we're not going to have Medicare for all, but I'm going to force you. No one's allowed to not have insurance. So if you're an American citizen, I am going to force you to buy insurance you don't even want.
Yeah.
Unless you're not an American citizen.
And then we'll just give it to you.
And then it's free.
Yeah. Yeah, so this reminds me.
What in the flying F are we talking about here?
I know, it's so crazy. I saw this video one time. Somebody interviewing some 65-year-old woman from south side of Chicago. And she's saying, look, how come I don't get a free phone? How come I don't get, $400 a week in spending money? How come I don't get a free place to live?
Yeah.
What is this? How come somebody comes in here illegally and then Biden flies them to my neighborhood in the dead of night so they can sit on the porch in the morning,
right.
and they're getting all this free stuff, and they're getting free health care.
And the Democratic leadership assumes that there's like this black-brown coalition, like black people are automatically pro open borders or something.
Of course not.
What?
It's totally.
They're the people who are most damaged by this.
Yes, it's hurting them. It's hurting them the most. And so anyway, that's a stupid one.
So they're taking the 20 on that.
Okay, what else you got?
I've got this one's a little bit old, but abortion up until birth.
Oh, I
saw John Kennedy.
Okay.
Louisiana Kennedy.
He's funny. He's a funny guy.
Grill 3 different experts in the field of saying, so do you or do you not? Tell me if this is a complicated question, because these ladies all made it sound like unanswerable.
Yeah.
This is the question. Do you or do you not support abortion with a healthy mother and a healthy baby up until the moment of birth?
Yeah. Sounds like a straightforward question.
No. Well, first off, they always do this move. You sort of object to the question itself.
Yeah.
You do that one first.
Yeah.
Then you say it's more nuanced than you think.
Right.
Then you dance it around some other way.
Right. Yeah.
And do you know what? Your normal walk-around pro-abortion Democrat is not on board for this, but you ask anybody in Congress.
Yeah, I know. Because they take money from Planned Parenthood. And they've signed on to this death cult of believing in abortion up until a minute before the baby's born, which is hideous and obscene.
God,
but it's so disgusting.
Vile.
It's vile and disgusting, but that's what the Democratic Party is signed on to.
Okay, there you go. Take your 20 or your 10.
I'm not even sure it's 10. I mean, who could be in favor of that? You have to be pretty sick to believe that you should be able to kill a baby 10 minutes before it's born. I mean, that's unbelievable. All
right, and this one actually kind of goes back to the Kilmar Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
This is my addition here. I saw the mayor of Providence, Rhode Island, furious that they had caught and were deporting a MS-13 fentanyl dealer.
Oh, great.
And they were launching a serious investigation. You know what this investigation involved?
No.
Let's see if we can find a single Rhode Island law enforcement official who assisted in this.
Oh.
Because can you imagine that a police officer not wanting to have fentanyl drug dealers on the streets?
So my understanding is that fentanyl is so dangerous that if I don't take fentanyl or any kind of drugs like that. And so it's so dangerous to people who don't, like if you're George Floyd, yes, you can scarf down the fentanyl and you're okay because your body is used to it, right? But for me, my body's not used to it. The tiniest little bit, touching your skin can kill you because you overdose on it because it's that strong. Now, don't you think that cops would want that stuff off the street? Because they're out there dealing with people who are drug addicts. They're dealing with the George Floyds of the world.
No, they are getting those people off the street.
Yeah.
As long as they're U.S. citizens.
Yes, exactly. But if they're not U.S. citizens, oh gosh.
Right, it makes your head spin.
It does. It's just absolutely obscene and absurd.
And then, although I was trying to give your normal Democrat some credit here, going, they don't all believe that, but they voted for these people.
Yeah, I know. Unbelievable.
Tell you.
Yeah. Well, who's this writer again?
White Knight.
White Knight. Okay, White Knight. Well, thank you for the question. That was for not a question. Just more ways that people are gone plumb crazy.
And the Democrats I just say give them enough rope.
I know.
And hopefully it pays off in the midterm.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Okay, cheers. Thanks so much for listening to Beer and Conversation with Pigweed and Crowhill. Remember to visit us at pigweedandcrowhill.com or send us an email at pigweedshow@gmail.com.